Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shah, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Barak Wadash. All praises, honor, glory, love, respect, faith, and power, and trust, and all credit to my Heavenly Father, Yahweh, and my Heavenly Big Brother, Yahweh Shah. Thank you so much for what you've done, what you're doing, and what you're going to do. Double honors to the apostles and elders and bishops of GMS, Great Millstone, who I learned from, and all the men scattered all over the world, teaching this truth, and none but the truth, in the name, spirit, and the power of Yahweh Shema Shah. Trying to put a spiritual bug in you Hebrew Israelites' ears, you so-called Black Latinos, the Spanish, Native Americans, and Indians, and you speckled birds. And what is a speckled bird? That'd be a Hebrew Israelite that look like some of the heathen nations, like for example, a Hebrew Israelite that look like a so-called white person or a so-called Chinese person, etc., etc. Got some videos lined up on what's going on with America financially and the jobs and pretty much the money and just things that's related to money. Anyway, I'm going to play these videos. I'm going to get into the scriptures to my best ability. Say whatever I have to say. Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shah, the Holy Spirit, the Kurhak Dash, Lord willing, beyond me. Let's get it.
Everybody is downplaying this level of shock to the entire U.S. economy. Like, there is no way that it can survive.
Well, then when I say the money, I mean the economy, really. But anyway.
In the way that it was before, as a result of this war.
Because I know this video is based off more than just money, but the job, the economy, everything's in a downhill spiral here in America, Babylon the Great.
Yeah, well, I keep coming
pretty much as a collapse.
Back to something that
economic collapse.
Rory Johnston has told us, that he thinks that traders are underestimating the impact because the reality is just too awful to actually price in. And so this Bloomberg piece sort of speaks to that dynamic. We can put this up on the screen. They say the billion-barrel Hormuz oil shock is about to crash demand. The Strait of Hormuz oil shock has yet to crash demand as the rich world borrows from its stocks and pays up to secure supply. Traders are now sounding the alarm that a harsh adjustment is coming. The longer the vital oil channel does not reopen, traders say the more consumption is going to have to recalibrate lower to align with supply that's dropped at least 10%. For that to happen, people will have to buy less, either through prices they can't afford or government intervention to force consumption down. 1 billion barrels of supply loss is already all but guaranteed, more than double the emergency inventories that governments released not long after the conflict began at the end of February. Buffers are being used up fast, helping to keep a lid on oil prices for now. But with the closure now in its 9th week, demand destruction that started in less obvious sectors like petrochemicals in Asia is quietly spreading to everyday markets the world over. And they go on to say we are at a critical inflection point, and obviously here, no end in sight. Not only do we have the Iranians controlling what goes through, you have the U.S. Implementing some level of blockade and going after Iranian ships around the world as well. That's part of the stated policy. And as you were saying before, Sagar, there is some indication that Iran is still able to move some of their oil product, but certainly it is much, 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 much less than pre-war. So at some point, they use these economic terms of art, like demand destruction, et cetera. What does that mean? It means that people will not be able to afford gas. It means the poor world is screwed. It means we're going to have a hunger crisis. It means that, your budget is going to be stretched to the breaking point and you are not going to be going the
And I was playing the video on my way to Kroger's. I had to go and send a letter of resignation. I was resigning from the job because I was like, I can't work there anymore. Yeah, at the time I have to get to sleep, and so it was on my spirit for since all last night to today, and I said, hell, let me go ahead and get it. I hope the spirit that was on me was the right spirit. I made the right choice because I couldn't deal working there night shift. No, especially I'm doing yard work and doing this at the same time not the same time, but during the daytime. But I was on my way over there to the job to drop off my letter. What video I was watching? Oh yeah, what I was watching. If you come up faster. Where that shit at? What, the GMS KC Prophet 3. The video he was using was about redacted. They had a guest on the show, and the guest was talking about there's not gonna be no famine in America. So America's gonna be okay, but everybody else is gonna be shitty. It's gonna be shitty for everybody else, but it's gonna be horrible in America. And I'm like, now that's the fucking pride of this devil, Esau. This nigga say everything's gonna be okay. No, the fuck it ain't. This nigga right here. Do you see? Yeah, that on the thumbnail, that guy talking about everything gonna be okay. No, the hell it ain't. Hell, you got other people saying that there will be a famine. And guess what? The host the people on the channel, they're not saying that. What's the name? Natalie and Clayton. They're not interjecting. They're not saying, "Hey, what the hell are you talking about?" They ain't saying shit. They ain't saying shit. But there will be a famine here in America. And the Bible says so. Ultimately, Yahweh Shema Shah say so through the Bible and speaking through his prophets. Back to the video.
Places that you had planned on being able to go. It means for working class people, they're going to struggle to afford even just to get to work and have that work out. So that's,
And another thing too, since all this stuff is going on with this oil shock going on, and they use petrol for packaging, because they make the plastic with the oil, and they use the oil for making out like some kind of some kind of vapor gas fumes to preserve foods and such. Imagine that, saying there's going to be a shortage with food at these grocery stores. And I work at a grocery store stocking at night. So I'm just like, I don't know. I wouldn't say that I quit the job. I resigned from the job because of that reason. I just resigned that job because I couldn't work with that shit no more. I need my sleep, bro. And sometimes I can't even hardly get any sleep or enough sleep to go to work and stay there for about 6 or 7 hours. Shit. But anyway, like I was saying, I'm just imagining like the scenario that when this shit goes down and it gets deeper and deeper, I don't think there won't be nothing to stock up. When I get to work, hell, they won't have no supplies to stock up because all the shit is, it needs plastic to contain the juices, the water, the meats, any kind of food. From the hard plastic to soft plastics, the material wraps and all that stuff to turn into a bag. Yeah, it's short on that, and you won't be. They won't. No company will be. Well, companies will have a hard time storing their products, and preserving their products. And if their products ain't gonna be packaged, then hell, they won't be nothing to send to the grocery stores. And then hell, that's gonna probably result to the grocery stores laying people off. Yep. That's why I was like, and then plus to think about the panic. When there's a panic, people gonna be bum rushing these grocery stores. They'll probably be there all night, and to the point we're trying to close the store up, and these people refuse to leave. They'll be there trying to buy up shit. Yeah, and I'll be like, nigga, I don't want to be here with this bullshit. But anyway, back to the video. I just want to say that.
That is what we are on the precipice of right now.
Yeah, look, it's already here. Can we put C3 up there on the screen? I'm amazed that this is not a bigger story. This is from the Financial Times. They went through the numbers. It says U.S. motorists skimp at the pump as Iran war keeps petrol prices high. I love British phraseology. They say between February and March, average petrol sales, that's gas for those of us here in the U.S., per station in the northeastern U.S. fell 4.3% in March compared with a 0.6% growth in the same period as last year. This is from data which tracks consumer spending at more than 23,000 gas stations across the nation. How is this not a bigger story? In the northeastern United States, gas demand has fallen by 4.3%. That is actually huge. Again, as they point out, last year, 0.6% of an overall increase. I mean, as I understand it, when the weather gets better, people tend to drive more and they take more trips. This is something which is very expected. That's part of the reason why whenever the weather starts to get February to March, you're going to start to see a spike. You've got almost a 5% drop in gas demand in the very same period as when you had an increase or at least stasis in the same period of last year. 5% gas is huge. I mean, it's not like you can 5% for a commodity which the vast majority of people are going to basically drive no matter what. It takes a lot for people to consume less gas. And to say 5% as if it's like some willy-nilly thing is just not accurate, I think, whatsoever. Think about what a 5% drop in consumer spending in the United States would mean. It would be catastrophic, actually, for a lot of the U.S. retail industry. What would 5% mean whenever it comes to GDP or any of these things? Like, it is not a small number, and it is a number from just 1 month that we saw an overall reduction in the amount of gas consumption. So that's here. I mean, look, I can only speculate, but there's just no way. If gas in Los Angeles is going for $6.79 a gallon or $7 a gallon, something like that people are going to be driving as much. It's just not possible, like literally financially, without, I don't know, crazy credit card debt. People are going to make maybe the conscious or the unconscious choice of saying, we're not going to do X, Y, and Z. And remember, gas is just about on your way to go there. It's also about all the things you might have spent and the dollars that you may have had once you had arrived at that different destination. So this is a serious quality of life hit, period. And I think it will also show up very soon in the data. Let's put C4 on the screen. This was another report, which I was reading just yesterday. So Goldman Sachs put out a new report, basically for their own, like it's a research style report. And they forecast that the U.S. could lose 10,000 jobs a month this year as the oil shock ripples through the economy. This was in a client note. A team of economists at the bank said they anticipate high unemployment and slow job growth to ripple through the end of the year as the impact of high oil prices ripples across the economy. In the bank's base scenario, the oil price would shave off 10,000 jobs a month through the end of the year, even after accounting for expected job gains in the energy sector. The bank also said it expects unemployment to tick higher to 4.6 by the end of the third quarter, and the economy will lose 92,000 jobs just as part of the latest non-farm payrolls report. The upward pressure on unemployment primarily reflects lower hiring with a smaller contribution from higher layoffs in industries most exposed to weaker consumer spending. And I think that will be, remember, Crystal, during COVID, very similar. Hospitality, at one point, what was their unemployment rate? It was like 80%. And so if you see a similar reduction in gas demand, you will very likely see something happen like that, where people travel less and you start to see bookings and like that go down in the coming months ahead, not to mention jet fuel and the airline price increase as well.
Yeah. Now, there is one, for the empire's perspective, there is an offsetting sort of dynamic here, which is that while you're getting screwed at the pump, the oil producers are making money hand over fist. Right. And since you have, the Middle Eastern source.
Anyway, let's get to the next video. If you want to watch the rest of it, they go to title of, they go to channel. Let's see what they're talking about with this one.
Donald Trump thought he pulled a fast one on us this morning. He announced once again that the Iran war is almost over, and he did it exactly 1 minute before the stock market opened at 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. We're going to show you the post, the consequences. But first, Cenk, what do you make of Trump's good morning post about the war?
Okay, there's two different problems going on here, guys. One is Trump and his insiders robbing us blind through insider trading. But the second bigger one is now even the top business experts in the world are saying, yeah, the people on Wall Street have lost their minds. Why are they believing Donald Trump? We're about to hit a giant iceberg. That's going to affect all of us. So I need you to hear all the facts, and then we'll analyze.
So here's what Trump wrote this morning. Iran has just informed us that they are in a state of collapse. They want us to open the Hormuz Strait as soon as possible as they try to figure out their leadership situation, which I believe they will be able to do. Thank you for your attention to this matter. That's, yeah, of course, definitely. A scenario, a wartime type scenario where the other opposing side says, hey, we're struggling, please help, we give up. But Trump's Truth Social posts are no doubt influencing the price of oil. Energy experts say that the president's inconsistent and unreliable posts about the Iran war are on the cusp of causing another oil price spike. They claim that right now prices are, quote, artificially low due to the president's jawboning, but they won't stay that way forever. Even as the global price of oil has crept up over $100 per barrel on the futures market, it is significantly less than the $140 per barrel spot price, or what it would take to buy a barrel today. The president's promises can only work for so long. Supply of oil, especially in Europe and Asia, is dwindling, and a price shock is coming, said Dan Pickering, chief investment officer at Pickering Energy Partners. He said that when the summer driving season begins, there will be another gas price shock that hits people in the face. Pickering stated there's a day of reckoning coming. It'll be painful because I can tell you that the stock market's ignoring this. The big problem with the administration's strategy was pointed out by Rosemary Kalanick, who works at a libertarian think tank called Defense Priorities. She explained that Trump keeps signaling the war is about to end, but that means oil companies aren't producing any more than necessary. By talking about the market so effectively, when the price spike becomes inevitable, it's going to hurt way worse because we will have lost weeks or even months of time where producers could have been ramping up output. Even some U.S. oil and gas industry executives are frustrated with Trump's rhetoric, with one respondent to a recent Dallas Fed survey saying the president sends conflicting signals to operators who cannot plan rigs and capital budgets when prices swing wildly based on tweets. That respondent continued, our hypothesis is that the paper market is being manipulated. This will likely lead to an even worse supply and demand imbalance and higher prices in the medium term in the next 12 months. And there's more, but Cenk, I want to bring you in here. It seems like the market, the financiers, should understand what's happening here, but it still seems like there's just a collective confusion among the wealthy and the moneyed elite.
Yeah, there's two different things, like I said earlier. First, on the insider trading, the market's open at 9:30. When you put out a statement at 9:29, Donald Trump, we see you. So he's done this now many times right before the market's open. He says something that's going to usually bring the price of oil down. And then coincidentally, there happens to be a person or an account that is making massive bets on the price of oil going down right before he does that. That account made $58 million on one bet alone in one of these statements. So there are a lot of theories on who is...
All right, anyway, I want to hear this no more. If you want to watch the rest of it, be my guest. They go to title, they go to channel. Let's get to the next one.
University of Phoenix feels built for...
Thousands of people across the United States are about to experience another issue because SNAP benefits are changing for thousands and thousands of people across the United States tomorrow. we're starting to see some additional cuts. And we're seeing this in many different states. I'll explain what states those are in just a moment. But
yeah, it sounds like the teats are starting to dry up.
At the end of this video, I'm also going to address which states are going
fruitful vines and the teats being people sucking off the government's nipples and shit for I won't say free, but for benefits and such is going bye-bye. But hold on, they talking about snap cuts are going to happen? No, not for the small hat people, not for the divine, the so-called holy divine people. No, not for them. It won't be cut off for them. No, but for you regular people that's not divine, oh yeah, especially you Israelites, they gonna cut that shit off.
To be giving out summer EBT, meaning every single child will get $120 from their state for the summer.
Meanwhile, the small head people, you know, Amalek people, they getting shit $100 grand a month. Shit. Each child will get $100 grand a month, I think.
Explain which states are going to get those, but that will be.
I don't know about $100 grand. More like probably 50 grand.
In just a moment. But look at this right here. It says snap cuts could lead to 70,000 avoidable deaths. They are saying that over the next 13 years, we could save 70,000 people. These are avoidable deaths due to food insecurity. That's huge. Right now, many people are extremely concerned about what's going to happen with them. How are we going to feed our communities? How are we going to have food for the churches and the food banks and the schools? It's getting out of hand.
We are going to have a food shortage. Every church and every school with land
I didn't expect this video to be talking about, well, yeah, well, you know what? Let me see. I might have to add some more videos. Maybe not. Because I had another video I want to get into and play. But fuck it. Anyway, I thought this video going to be about, you know, something to do with financial stuff. But fuck it.
Be growing food. Funding was cut for this year for school commissaries, churches, and other organizations. They're now depending on local.
You know what? I'm going to let this go. Because it's more likely someone like a plague in a way. Yeah, like famine related stuff. Because I got some videos here that's getting into that, and I'm gonna keep it in this category. Lord will I get into that video, but let's skip this video and get to the next one, which will be, I think it's this one.
Young Americans are facing abnormally high levels of both unemployment and underemployment. And you probably won't be surprised to find out that, you know, they all hate AI because AI is related to this. But while many...
Okay, what? It's just buffering. Motherfucker.
Are turning to trade schools thinking that, you know, learning a trade will be AI proof. The fact of the matter is everyone is thinking the same thing, and trade schools are in high demand. And so let's start with the job market and what that looks like for America's young people. So we're currently experiencing a historical anomaly because the most recent data from the Federal Reserve pegged the unemployment rate for recent grads at 5.7% in the fourth quarter of last year, 2025. That's above the national rate, which almost never happens, right? So the unemployment rate on a national level is also kind of BS, right? So it doesn't include important groups of people who would make the number much higher, like those who have given up on finding work, those who are severely underemployed. Like if you work 1 hour a week, literally just 1 hour a week, you're included in the employment numbers. You are employed according to the federal government, which is ridiculous. However, officially, our unemployment rate stands at 4.2% nationally. Okay, so prior to 2020, recent graduates generally had a lower rate of unemployment than the rest of the American population, but the tides unfortunately have turned. So speaking of 2020, underemployment for recent grads was at 42.5%. Is at 42.5%, and that actually is the highest since 2020. So there are different definitions for underemployment, but underemployment is really important to focus on because, you know, you're considered underemployed if, let's say, you went to school, went into a ton of debt, and then were unable to find a job in the field that you studied. That's considered underemployed. But the definition of underemployment that I actually like a lot more, because I think this is something a lot of Americans have been dealing with, is when you want to work full time, but there are no full time opportunities for you. So you have to cobble together, if you're lucky enough to find, a bunch of part-time jobs. So that's also considered underemployed. So what does that have to do with all of this? Well, at companies that adopted AI, junior hiring fell nearly 8% within 6 quarters. Not because of layoffs, but through a quiet freeze on new positions. And that's according to Harvard working paper tracking 62 million workers. So guys, it's here. Okay, so there are mass layoffs, by the way. Oracle?
Hope is found in heartbeats, in hands held, in people who care.
Laid off tens of thousands of their employees in a freaking email at night. Yeah. Please tell me about how offended you are at me mocking that Ellison disgusting pig. But yeah, that's what they did. But on top of that, there are hiring freezes. So that's also contributing to the lack of jobs out there. Almost 60% of hiring managers use AI as an excuse for layoffs or hiring freezes because it plays better with stakeholders. And that's according to resume.org, a survey that they carried out. So some of this turmoil can be attributed to Trump's stupid decisions. Just let's call it what it is. So for instance, Jim Vandehei and Mike Allen, the co-founders of Axios, write the following. We talk to scores of CEOs every month and hear a common theme. With so much uncertainty about the economy, tariffs, geopolitics, and AI, it's easier to freeze hiring and take a wait and see approach. And look, guys, there is going to be downsizing if this war continues because the price of gas goes up, right? The price of energy goes up as a result of this war. It's not just that you're going to be paying more at the pump. The cost of transporting goods goes up as a result of that. And there's going to be limited supply of certain things. So a third of the world's fertilizer comes from the Middle East, from the Gulf in particular. That is now being blocked thanks to this war. That means that farmers are having a...
All right, anyway, Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 3, no, not this one. Isaiah chapter 19, verse 15, neither shall there be any work for Egypt, top of a miracle. Because this is really? You got to wait, bro. She want a treat. Well, hold on. Anyway, neither shall there be any work for Egypt. What is this about? Oh, neither there should be any work for Egypt, talking about America, because this is spiritual Egypt, which the head or tail, branch or roots may do. So all these people jobs going to be affected. And they trying to blame it on, what you call that shit, AI. But that's not really the case. I mean, AI is one of the many reasons why they laying people off. But shit, they just laying people off just for the hell of it. Yeah, and it's also, man, all this shit is happening because it's all about the RFID microchip implant, the mark of the beast. Let's get to the next video. What you want?
We have a big problem. Americans are broke. In fact, the recent poll that just came out just revealed that. Now, this was a CBS News poll. I want you guys to hear this. Again, 70% of Americans are living basically day to day, barely getting by. Are you one of these people? Let me know in the chat. Let me know if you're one of the people that's struggling.
More than 70% of Americans say they are struggling to pay for food, housing, and health care, according to a CBS News poll. Saturday morning co-host Kelly O'Grady has some tips to cut her costs.
It's getting more expensive to go shopping. From housing and gas to clothes, Americans are feeling the squeeze. Food prices have jumped nearly 20% since 2022, and they could go even higher. Diesel prices are up over 50% since the start of the conflict with Iran. Remember, diesel fuels the trucks that transport most food and household items to the store.
But there are some ways to save on feeding your family. With me is shopping and lifestyle expert Maureen Petrosky.
Pause. Notice what they immediately pivot to. Here's how you can save on feeding your family. Notice what they don't call out. They don't call out the corruption. They don't call out the corporations. They don't call out the corporate greed. They don't call out the billionaire class. Because guess what? The billionaires are not struggling. They're not suffering. Every time we have an economic downturn, they are fine. So let's hear what they say.
Who's going to share her secrets to savings? Ready to shop? Let's go. Okay, so we're starting in the meat section because there are actually a lot of money-saving substitutions, right?
Definitely. Prep work is important, having a list is important, but more importantly is having a budget so you can be flexible with your list. For instance, if on your list you've got chicken breast, but chicken thighs are on sale, it's a simple swap and an easy way to save money. You want to...
People who are on a budget already do this. People who have to budget their money for groceries, they already do this. They already say, okay, well, this package here is cheaper, I'm going to get the cheaper package.
Make sure you look for price per unit.
I mean, that's a savings of $1 per pound. I'm a big fruit girl. It always needs to be fresh. What's a way to save?
It's not always best to be in the fresh section. Let's head to freezer.
Okay, so you want me to trade my fresh fruit for...
Stop. It's not always best to be in the fresh section, which means, yeah, you can always get frozen fruit. Frozen fruit is still fine as well. But the reality is that means you're going to end up eating more processed foods. And processed foods are usually higher in sugar and salt, sodium, and also can lead to problems later on down the line if you're only eating a lot of processed foods. See, this part is important for people to hear, because the reality is when you go to the grocery store, you should spend most of your time on the outskirt of the grocery store, not going up and down the aisles. Up and down the aisles is usually where a lot of the processed food is. So what they're admitting to you is it requires money to eat healthy. Does that seem to be fair to you?
I mean, yeah. Anyway.
Let's see what they say about the frozen fruit.
Freezer? I do. Actually, fruit, vegetables are picked or packaged at their peak ripeness. That way, when they go to the freezer, they're perfectly sweet. And as you can see, tons of sales.
I love saving time. I often like to buy prepackaged.
Something that's pre-packaged like this, if you shop from scratch and buy the parts instead, you can save up to 40%.
Whoa, 40%?
Yes.
And as consumers are tightening their wallets, grocery chains are taking notice. Target recently lowered prices on 3,000 products. Aldi leaned into its Budget King reputation and dropped prices on roughly 25% of items last summer. Walmart offers temporary rollback discounts and is pushing customers towards its own low-cost brand.
Which means that they could have done this all along. These grocery stores are showing you they could have lowered the prices a long time ago.
But it's not just food you can save on.
Buying in bulk is a great way to save money, especially if you have the space. But be careful, you don't want to buy items in bulk that you're not going to use. Paper products is the perfect thing to buy in bulk.
And I guess if you're buying in bulk, less trips to the store, especially, it saves your time and your money with gas prices costing more.
So again, people who are on a budget and living paycheck to paycheck already know they already do this. They already do that. Notice that they don't attack the system. They don't attack the corruption. Why these things are happening. Otherwise, they would not be on CBS News, right? So here's the point that I want to make. 70% of Americans are struggling to pay for housing and food. They told you about food. They didn't say anything about housing. So I guess they say you just screwed with that. Oh, well, right? You know who's not struggling? I just want to make a comparison so that you guys see what's happening.
Say Amalek. They're not hitting no hard times. Let me get to the scripture real quick. Oh, it's talking about Elon Musk. Well, yeah, one of the elite of Esau, Amalek. Hagar chapter 1, verse 6. Ye have sown much and bring in little. Ye eat, but ye are not. Ye have not enough. Ye drink, but ye are not filled with drink. He clothe you, but there is no warm, and he that earneth wages to put into a bag with holes. So that's exactly what's going on with a lot of people. Hell, you work so much for very little, and you ain't got enough to afford food, water to drink or bathe your butt with, and to save your money. No, and that's going on all over the world. But I'm saying this is also, this is a video. All these videos about America, and that's what's going on here in Babylon the Great America. Back to the video.
Elon Musk is about to get a lot richer. Musk would have to pay $23.34 a share to exercise his award, but the stock is currently trading at more than 16 times the price. Elon Musk's net worth stands at nearly $650 billion. That's due to his stakes in SpaceX and Tesla. Elon Musk's net worth is $650 billion. He is on his way to becoming a trillionaire.
I thought he was already a trillionaire. I thought he was a trillionaire back last year. Like, I give a fuck anyway. Hell, they keep talking about he's the richest man in the world. He is not the richest man in the world. Shit, he's probably the richest puppet in the world. It ain't his money. It's the Rothschilds' money.
And I'm going to tell you how he got there, because they lie about this too. He's just one example. I'm going to give you another one. So listen to this. I want to show you this part.
I don't really give a fuck about how much riches he got. Shit. And he's all going to cough that shit up anyway. Trump's worth.
States, but he's also a billionaire. And I just want to show you how much money he made. Everyone has an opinion, but Forbes has the answer. $6.5 billion, according to our most recent tally, updated in March. Trump added $1.4 billion over the past year, leveraging the presidency for profit. His cryptocurrency ventures stalled out before the election.
And his family, they made a lot of money too.
Exploded after his victory. That added an estimated 1.8 billion to his fortune overall. Another 500 million came in court, where Trump's legal team succeeded in eliminating a $500 million judgment against him. His once dormant licensing business surged 400 million as former developers clamored to do business with the American president. These people, and it's hilarious to me when people say, oh, he really lost money. Donald Trump has gained more money since he became president this time around.
All right, I'm going to stop right here. If you want to watch the rest of the video, be my guest. They go to title up, they go to channel. Let's get to the next one.
One of the biggest trends that's going on in social media right now is not people showing all of the glamorous moments of their life, basically selling you their highlight reel and making people envious. They're actually sharing about the struggles they're going through and how they are feeling like they are checking out because they can't afford what's going on in their lives. They can't afford the bills, they can't afford the cost of living, and everyone is feeling crushed by these rising prices.
I'm about to lose my shit. I am about to blow a gasket. I swear, I am. I just got off the phone with my mortgage company, right? Because
I've seen this before. Oh, there's no wonder this is clips, because she's going to start showing some old stuff. Alright, I'll play a little bit of it.
Called me. I was like,
I know I've seen it, but I don't know about y'all, but I'll play it anyway.
The mortgage company called me. I'm up to date on everything. Everything's cool, right? You know, I just checked my bank account to make sure the payment came out. I actually sent them $890 instead of $840, which, you know, is what I'm supposed to send them. And they called me up, and I'm like, yeah, what's going on? They're like, well, Mr. Hayes, we're calling to let you know that as of November 1st, your mortgage payment's going to be going from $840 a month to $991 a month. And I was like, for what? They're like, well, you're $900 short in escrow. And I was like, what do you mean I'm $900 short in escrow? How is that possible? How? Explain this to me. They go, well, your homeowner's insurance went from $2,600 a year on up to $3,400 a year. I said, for what? I haven't had any claims. I haven't had any issues pop up or anything like that. What do you mean? Why has it gone up so much? Well, Mr. Hayes, you're going to have to call your insurance company for that. So now I'm going to have to call my insurance company to find out why in the my insurance went up so much to cause my mortgage payment to go from $841 a month to $991 a month. I mean, I'm barely making it as it is right now. Barely. I mean, we ain't doing bad, but we ain't doing great. What the f, man?
Well, I've hit my breaking point. I literally cannot afford to live.
There's another one I've seen before, but shit, I'm still gonna play it.
Pay bills or any of this shit. And why the f am I alive? Like, I almost just bawled my eyes out inside of Walmart because I realized that I literally cannot afford to live. What the f is wrong with our economy? Like, what? What? It's either like this is my weekly life. It's either eat, pay money to eat, or don't pay other bills, or pay bills and don't eat.
Go back to Hagar.
Eat, or like, it's just like I have to ask my parents to help me to survive because I have no money. Because all my money goes to bills. How do people live like this? And I'm just like, I don't even know what to do. Like, I almost think I need to move home because, like, I literally have no money to survive. Like, this is fucked. This is literally fucked.
Yeah, these videos are old, man. I've seen these. Yeah, all these videos are old. I want to see if I try to find something else. Let me see what this is about. Same channel. Actually, I need to get out of here. so I can put it on the list. There we go. Now let's play it.
You know what? They keep saying that we're in the age of disclosure, and I think that they're right. But I think we also need to start disclosing something else, like on a personal level. Like,
What the fuck? This shit keep damn.
think more people, especially Americans, need to start disclosing how much they are struggling financially. Like, I made a video yesterday talking about how this is my first job that I've been able to land since November of last year. I'm not full-time. That job is not full-time. It is $19 an hour. It is 32 hours a week. My lease renewal, I've got my third notification about my lease renewal. I cannot afford to renew this lease, and I also can't afford to move, because if you move, what do you gotta do? Deposit, admin fee, application fee, paying for the moving truck, taking time off of work, all this extra stuff that you have to pay for. I cannot afford to do either one. And a lot of people are in this position right now. A lot of people cannot find a job, and it's not because there's just a natural scarcity when it comes to jobs. It is a manufactured scarcity. They're not hiring anyone. They're cutting 90% of their workforce and getting the remaining 10% to do the work of the other 90% while not increasing their pay. The cost of everything is going up, but everybody keeps reporting record profits. Nobody can afford to pay their workers a livable wage, but everybody has record profits. But you know who does get paid? The shareholders, who do absolutely nothing for the company. This is the state of the economy right now. Like, this is a reality. This is real. And this is where we all are. It's a lot more people that are just too embarrassed to say. You should never be embarrassed about what this system has done to you.
Ever since social media has pretty much come around, you don't see people really sharing the truth of how they feel, the struggles that they're really going through. And people are becoming more and more vocal about that. In fact, it's almost a new trend to actually share how you really are feeling, how you really are struggling, especially here in America.
Hey, what's up, America? I'm going to be real with you here because I see no future for people in America. After seeing...
The Bible says the same thing, that the future was the windows would be darkened. Yeah. Matter of fact, since I said that, let me go to it. It's Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse I'll start with 3. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble. I was gonna get to this scripture eventually, but I didn't know when I was gonna get to it, but I guess any time is the best time. So get it now. But where I left off at. Oh, in the day when the keepers of the house will tremble, there'll be the people that's running the financial systems from the banks, from the stocks, and all that stuff is pretty much crumbling. Shall crumble or tremble, I meant to say. It's trembling, crumbling, is pretty much collapsing, and it's dying. And the strong man shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease, because they are few. That's going back to the work, the jobs. And those that look out the windows be darkened. Yeah, the future is looking dark for America, and they all use Americans. And the door shall be shut in the streets. Big business, small business closed up. When the sound of the grinding is low, be the sound of work is brought down low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird by the alarm clock, or by the birds actually chirping, and roosters crock-a-doodle-dooing, and all that stuff. And all the dogs of music shall be brought low. Music suck. And a lot of things are just going downhill for America, pretty much this whole world society. But I'm just talking about America, because this is what this video is all about. America, Babylon the Great. And things are looking down. It's looking pretty bad and depressing. And hey, it's the Lord. The Lord is punishing you proud ass people, man. People thinking that this shit will never fall. It's falling, bitch. The Lord breaking this bitch down. Back to the video.
The high cost of homes nationwide, the high cost of gas, the high cost of food, the high cost of rent, cars, rental cars, used cars, insurance, healthcare, taxes, and every other thing. How is anybody in this country supposed to prosper that's not already wealthy? Can someone tell me that? The pulling yourself up by your bootstraps argument is and over. It does.
Well, yeah, they've been telling us that shit for a while, and now it's your turn, Rusty.
Doesn't work now. You have
Rusty or let's say Andy or whatever the fuck.
Average home prices of $512,000.
Yeah, damn. Heidi Doody. I'm trying to think of somebody who got red hair or freckles. Anyway,
Grocery prices are almost 100% more since 4 years ago. Same with rent, same with mortgages, same with used cars, same with new cars. Taxes are slightly lower, and I do mean slightly. Wages are slightly up, but no way in hell will that meet the requirements. I just saw a story about a nurse with a 75...
Oh, this video old too. I seen this shit. Cause next you got this one woman. I'm gonna skip this. The one woman, she seems so animated.
Have blown through the roof of what their profit margins were going to be. You want to know why? They are thriving because America is starving to live.
Yeah, seen this shit. I'm just gonna, not seen this video. This not even, is this the clip? No, this ain't even the clips. She just using old clips that she had used and reposting them again. It's like nothing new. But anyway, I'm gonna stop right there. I don't want to see these old videos. We go in here. Oh yeah, I do have one more video we'll play. Let me go and get this one scripture right here. 2nd Ezra chapter 15 verse 11. And the Lord is bringing plagues to America, Babylon, and Great. And he's plaguing the shit out of these people's pockets and their bank accounts. Pretty much their money. But I will bring them with a mighty hand and stretched out arm and smite Egypt with plagues as before. Once again, Egypt referring to America. Spiritually Egypt. As before, and will destroy all the land thereof. Egypt shall mourn, talking about America. Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that God Yahweh shall bring upon it. So yeah, like I said, this Lord's plaguing the shit out of this place from everything. Last video coming from the, what is it, the Hopeful Elect 3. Hagar chapter 1 verse 6. Ye have sown much and bring in little. Ye eat, but ye have not enough. Ye drink, but ye are not filled with drink. Ye clothe you, but there is none warm. He that earneth wages to put into a bag with holes. Proverbs chapter 29 verse 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. And who the wicked is? Esau Edom, so-called white man. But he ain't white, he's red. He's a baby dick sucking Jewish faggot nigger. Amalek.
Why is life just so overwhelming? I mean, I know everyone's literally in the same boat. Like, oh my god. It's just so overwhelming. Like, and stressful. Like trying to keep up with rent, utility bills, food, and like if you're not worried about that, you're worried about work, and you know you go to work and work is full on, and like I just want to go back to being a teenager when I was carefree and I used to just go out all the time and have fun and I wasn't worried about anything. My biggest problem was like what baby lips, is that what they were called? Baby lips, a lip balm I was going to use. And now it's like problems nowadays. It's like, do I pay for a utility bill or do I choose to put food on my table? And I know my problems are probably not even that big because I don't have children or anything. I don't know how. I actually couldn't even imagine having a child right now. I can barely keep myself alive, never mind a child. But like, just have a really long day at work and I've now just come home, sat in my flat, and I'm just sat here enjoying the peace and quiet for like a minute because my brain is just so overwhelmed. It's just, I'm trying to just decompress. Ready to do it all again tomorrow.
I remember, I think it was over 15 years ago, it feels like, if not more. Everything was affordable. Going to concerts, going to the movies, going out to eat, or having a fun fucking night, you bar hop. It wasn't that expensive. And now, it feels like you're giving up half your paycheck, if not your whole paycheck, to do some of these things. And it shouldn't be like that. You shouldn't have to pay half your paycheck, if not your whole paycheck, or save 2-3 months worth of paychecks to go to a concert, or have a fun night, or go bar hopping, or restaurant hopping, or try new things, or sightsee to a new state or a new area that you're not familiar with. It just sucks. And I'm tired of it. And I really, really hope that one day we can get back to that time where it's very affordable for everyone, not just myself, where it doesn't break your bank, it doesn't break your bank account, I should say, and it doesn't cost a life savings to go have fun.
I'm old enough to remember when $100 went pretty far, and now $200 doesn't even get you anywhere. Just me? What is happening to our dollar?
Y'all, guess what happened? So my mortgage just went up. My mortgage just went up to $2,500. They just ran my analysis, my escrow analysis, and I wasn't even gonna look at it. But someone told me like just look at it because I already knew I was negative because of what? Because of the fucking taxes. And because I have a shortage in my escrow. Thank you, City of Chicago. Thank you so much for making it even harder on fucking homeowners. Thank you so fucking much.
So let me get this right. The price of gas is up. Housing is up. Price of housing. Job security is hard to find in this economy. You're creating fewer jobs in this economy. We're in a war we can't get out of. And the Strait of Hormuz is still closed.
Yeah, all that is leading people to them chip implants. The mark of the beast. That's what they doing this shit on purpose.
And you want to take $400 million of our hard-earned tax-paying dollars to build that disgusting ballroom that you claimed was going to be built with private donations. What happened to the benefactors? There were none. See, this is what happens when you put a felon in the White House, a thief, a fat thief who stole $500 million from the state of New York. He's a con man, a freaking con man.
And not just him, but don't forget about them other ones on the other side, the left wing. You got the right wing, the left wing, they all con men. They all devils. You stop blowing your breath on my leg, bruh. Damn. Y'all got fiending for a damn trisket, or whatever these damn things called.
And those idiots who voted for him and who will still carry.
You see, her ass is lost. She in gross darkness. A damn nigga woman still in gross darkness. Worry about voting. It's beyond that. Wait till these niggas come with that great wrath.
His water are unbelievable.
And the same, and her ass calling on Jeebus and shit.
At this point. I don't know about you, but I'm pissed off. I don't want to pay taxes anymore.
We can't afford gas, we can't afford groceries, we can't afford to have kids, we can't afford to own a house, we can't even afford to pay for the apartments that we live in, if that, because we're always working to pay off those apartments. So what is the plan here? Like, what is their plan? What are we gonna do? I'm wondering, I'm asking, does the class know, like, what's the plan? What's the end goal?
What?
If it keeps going the way that it's going in the next
around for
3 years?
Nigga, you ate it that fast.
Because I'm thinking
Damn,
if I was
bro.
an evil billionaire, I would just keep things moderately decent so that people would just continue.
That's funny, man. This dog here, I just threw it's one of them Triscuit minis. I threw it, and she'll catch it with her mouth. She good at catching things. Threw it in her mouth, and then she didn't even know she had it in her mouth. She just looking around like, where did it go? Where did it go? I'm like, nigga, you just ate it. Shit.
To make money for me. But the greed is more than greed. It's not even greed. It's like you have so much money that you will not even be able to spend in your lifetime, but you still want more. Why? It just makes no sense. And I understand
There's something weird about that video. She got a filter on her nose. Like her nostrils don't blend in with the rest of the fit. I don't know. It look weird.
the whole like class thing. I get it. Like, but I'm just saying, like, what is the plan when we run out of money? Then what? I don't know, y'all.
How is everyone struggling at the same time right now? Like, I'm looking around and it's not just one group of people. It's people with degrees. It's people with jobs. It's people doing everything that they're supposed to be doing and still barely getting by. So it's like, at what point do we stop acting like this is an individual problem and admit that something is just not working anymore?
7 things the middle class will not be able to afford in the next 5 years, and I think it's a lot sooner than that. Number 1, housing. Unless you inherited property, struck gold, or plan to live with family,
it's going to be impossible.
Yeah.
Cars, new ones, not realistic.
Vacations. Travel savings is quietly becoming survival money.
Healthcare, insured or not, you're paying premiums, co-pays, deductibles, and that's going to eat a lot of your money.
And medications. 5, childcare. $2,000 per child per month It's not childcare, it's a second mortgage.
Yes, it is. And it's slowly been getting so much more expensive for people everywhere.
Down your stomach, instantly.
Retirement.
You didn't even know.
Most people aren't planning retirement. They're planning how to get through next week and the week after that, and so forth. It's just impossible.
Savings, just not happening. So tell us, how are you getting through each day? We would like to know.
Let us know.
We hope this helped in some way. We're all in it together.
Yes, we are.
No, you're not. Anyway, we all in this together. We heard this before with the COVID. We ain't in this shit together. I pray the Lord have mercy on me. Y'all better pray to y'all about Shemal Shah have mercy on y'all. But for these people in the world, fuck these people. So these motherfuckers about to go batshit crazy when it's all going down, bruh. So seek the Lord by seeking His prophets and take heed to what they say and try to build a spiritual mental relationship with Yahweh Shemal Shah by praying Yahweh Shemal Shah, praising Yahweh Shemal Shah, worshiping Yahweh Shemal Shah, fearing Yahweh Shemal Shah, and repenting of Yahweh Shemal Shah. To all the men out there pushing this truth and nothing but the truth in the name, spirit, and power of Yahweh Shemal Shah. Keep on preaching, keep on teaching, keep your faith and trust strong in Yahweh Shemal Shah, and stay humble. And for you few sisters out there taking heed, keep your faith and trust strong in Yahweh Shemal Shah. Stay humble, stay in order with your man. If you ain't got no man, stay in order, Yahweh Shemal Shah. Peace and blessed to the hopeful elect. And all praises to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah. Shalom.